Welcome to the One Star Weak Foot Show, FIFA 21 edition, starring your host, One Star Weak Foot, and our review specialist, One Star Weak Foot. Bow! Greetings, YouTube, and welcome to the One Star Weak Foot Show, your one-stop shop for player reviews. I'm going to be your host today, One Star Weak Foot, and it makes me feel absolutely stupendous to see you back on the channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. So, as you guys know, Wants to Watch Team 2 dropped today, but don't let that distract you from the fact that a new Team of the Week dropped, and there are a lot of interesting cards. And in my opinion, one of the most interesting cards was Otw Partey. Shout out to all my Arsenal subs. That's you, Mr. Ty. That's you, Alim Karmali. Shout out to you guys. It must be a great time to be an Arsenal fan right now. It's very exciting. You guys got a new manager. You guys made some big signings in Gabriel and Otw Partey, but I digress. We're here to talk about Otw Partey. And when you look at this card, he looks like a possible cheap Vieira. He looks like the possible best CDM in the Premier League. We're about to find out if that's true. Let's look at this card. When you look at this card, he's gotten a decent upgrade. Nothing too crazy. I mean, there are cards on this game that are lower rated. They get a big boost because of how low rated they are. Partey's went from an 84 to 86. And he looks like he has a lot of important stats here. He's 6'1". He has medium-high work rates. He's right-footed with a 3-star combination. As you guys see here, I played 7 games in Rivals with him. I have 0 goals and 0 assists. Before we go any further, if you're enjoying the content, if you want more content like this, do me a favor, hit the like button down below. And if you're new to the channel, don't be shy. I don't bite. I promise you. Please subscribe to the channel. I appreciate all you guys at home for watching this video. So, when you look at Otw Partey, I mean, there's a couple things that stand out about his stats, and those are the mid-80s stats in the last 4 categories. I mean, his passing looks immense. His dribbling actually looks pretty decent. And of course, his defending and physical look absolutely elite at this stage of the game. What I like about the card here is that he does have enough shooting to keep the opposition honest if he does happen to overlap and find himself in the box. His pace here was the big question mark. 69 acceleration, as you guys know, is not that great. So I threw a shadow chem style on him. He's playing on 10 chem. You might be wondering what role he's playing on this team. And he's playing a CDM in the 4-2-3-1. I've given up, all right? I was using the 4-3-3 for a while on both this account and my RTG account. And I've just found that without using 2 CDMs, I cannot defend for anything. So for the first part of this episode, I decided to use him in the 4-3-3 as a lone CDM. The second part, I did use him as a CDM in a 2 CDM formation, and I found that he did a lot better in the dual CDM formation, as did the rest of my team. So, without further ado, we're gonna take you over to our review specialist in the studios, One Star Weak Foot. Talk to him. Thanks, One Star. So, according to Footbin, Otw Partey's One to Watch is selling for 155K. I believe his inform will be settling maybe around the 80 to 100K mark given the price of his Ones to Watch. Is he worth it? I would have to say absolutely. When you compare him to the other CDMs in this price range in the Premier League, I think he's the best one. We're going to break down the stats though so you know exactly what to expect. So first we're going to talk about his pace. He has 73 pace and I boosted that to around 83 with his shadow chem style. In game, he didn't feel quick. All right, let's get that out of the way. No matter what chem style you put on him, he will not feel quick. But at the same time, I feel like he had adequate pace to track back on the counters. He had adequate pace to do his job effectively covering the defensive part of the pitch. Overall, I gotta give this guy's pace a 7 out of 10. It is not a standout stat, but it's not a weakness either. Next, we'll talk about shooting, and one thing I forgot to mention in the earlier part of the episode is that he has an insane long shot stat. 88 long shots, 89 shot power, and I did test it a few times. He came close at scoring a few finesses with his right foot from range, so I do see the potential there for him to score if he's in the right position. His attack positioning was pretty decent. I did set him to stay back, but he was always making himself available when I needed him. Overall, this guy's shooting is a 7 out of 10. If you need somebody to keep the opposition honest, if you need somebody who could bang long shots to keep the opposition honest, Partey's gonna be your guy. Next, we'll talk about his passing, and this is a part of the card that I feel like a lot of people are sleeping on. He has 85 passing, and if you've played FIFA 21, you know passing stats are significant on this game, and his actual passing stats are absolute class. He has 88 vision, 90 short passing, 88 long passing, and I did use him as a bit of a deep line playmaker in that regard. His over-the-top through balls were very accurate. His driven passes had a good weight to them, so he does have a bit of that playmaking capability in his locker. And what I was reading on Reddit off topic, when when I was seeing his transfer being reported was that a lot of people said that he had a lot of playmaking capabilities in real life. So it's really good to see that translate in game. Overall, this guy's passing is a 9 out of 10. It's slept on, but do not sleep on him if you face him. Next, we'll talk about his dribbling, and you might be worried here because he has 76 agility, a whopping 51 balance. But in game, I thought he was pretty decent at doing his job, and that's because his other stats are pretty good. He has 88 composure, 86 dribbling, 85 ball control, 87 reactions. So if you use his strength, if you use his shielding capability and keep his dribbling very simple, I mean, you're going to find he's very, very hard to dispossess, actually. His agility and balance is not that great. Let's get that clear, but it's not really a weakness at all for the profile of CDM he is. Overall, this guy's dribbling is an 8 out of 10. His agility and balance is not that great, but the rest of his stats are very, very good. Finally, we will be covering his defending and physical. And in this part of the game, he is absolutely elite. He definitely fits the profile of a cheap Vieira because in game he's big, he's burly, he has these absolutely long legs. His interceptions are 86, his defensive awareness are 82. And I found that he was always in good positions to break up play. He was always in good positions to mitigate the counters whenever I needed him. It was very, very nice. What I will say is his stand tackle was absolutely brilliant. He always won the ball whenever he was around it. He always had a magnet. It seemed like when the ball was being passed around him, and his tackle with his aggression, with his strength, means that he could tackle the more agile players and at the same time hold his own against the bigger players on this game. He has 94 stamina, which means man doesn't get tired. And I will say his defending and physical is so good that if you want to play him even as a center back, I think he wouldn't be out of place at all. Overall, this guy's defending and physical is a 9.25 out of 10. He's probably the best CDM I've used in this profile on the game. Alright guys, so you might be wondering at home what the final verdict is on this card, and I think he's a great option for a lot of people building Premier League sides, Arsenal fans, things like that. I mean, he pretty much has everything you want out of a CDM. He has the medium-high work rates, he has insane defending and physical capabilities, and he has the dribbling and passing to get you out of trouble when you're being pressed. On top of that, his shooting is good enough to keep the opposition honest, and because of this combination of stats, I gotta give him a 9.5 out of 10. It's probably the best rating I've given anybody all game, but it's definitely well warranted. Alright guys, so that's going to be my Otw Partey review today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Once again, don't forget to like and subscribe. I will see you in the next video, but until then, deuces.